Yeah.
So, instead of like the 3, 2, 1 action, we go,
Yeah.
"Meh, meh, meh, meh."
And welcome to LUX Chats. Aaron, thanks. Aaron J, it is. Thanks for joining us on...
You got to have the J.
You do. Thanks for joining us on LUX Chats today. We're here at That Creative Hub where we talk about everything Lux, but we talk about the story and how we got here. Obviously, our friendship goes back a few years now, but we've been flirting with the idea about podcasts. We've done some TV together. We've done social media. Why not do a podcast? But your story sort of, let's rewind it back and play it back to around about 11. So we sort of thought, what are we going to talk about today? And the topic was?
Oh, how I started DJing, turning a hobby into a career. So my first paid gig being a DJ at 11 years old. So
What happened there?
it was amazing, man. It was amazing. I've always been into music. Started off when I was 5, 6 years old, hitting pots and pans. My parents like, this guy's going to destroy all my stuff. We can't even cook with this guy around. So they bought me a drum kit. And at 10 years old, I was like eager to get gigs at 10. Like, Mum, Dad, I can't play anywhere. I can't play music bands. I'm 10 years old. So what can I do? My brother-in-law was a DJ and he introduced me to the ones and twos, the decks. And I did my first gig, which was a 21st at 11 years old. With him there, obviously. Yeah. But yeah, absolutely smashed it. And they couldn't even see me. They thought it was autopilot back then because I was so short. I was pretty much under the table with my hand like this, pressing play.
Playing it back. Love it. So hobby into career. So let's fast forward a few more years there. Where did it really sort of start turning in from a hobby to a career?
I think from the get-go. And why I say from the get-go is because I absolutely loved it. Like, you couldn't get me... Well, first of all, off the drums. Then you couldn't get me off the decks. To the point where I still remember the first song I was mixing when I was practicing was Chick La Freak. Freaka, And I was going from that into Funky Town, like the song Funky Town, for like half an hour, 45 minutes. So my brother-in-law's like, dude, like choose other songs. I'm like, no, I got to get this perfect. So that just showed me like I'm so passionate about it. It's not boring for me. I can do the same thing over and over, that same mix, listen to that same part of the song, get that mix right. And that just showed me that this is what I want to do. Like, I'm prepared to do the hard yards for this one thing that some people might think is boring, is not entertaining, or, dude, that's just, aren't you over it? Like, no. Like, I want to get that mix right. So that passion, that fuel was burning so hot at that young age. And even when people said, it's not a career, it's a hobby. It's not a career, it's a hobby. I was like, well, of course, no, it is a career. Like, how am I 15 years old doing 3 gigs a week? Like, imagine when I'm 21. Imagine when I'm driving. Imagine when I can go to meetings with corporates, brides and grooms to be. They want someone to DJ. Like, there's so entertainment's everywhere.
Do you still have some of your original fan base? So I was listening yesterday to... I was on the radio and they were talking about debut albums and the first time that a band comes out, they're all rustic and they're playing on the radio for the first time, and then you follow the band's journey or the singer's journey, and obviously in your case the DJ's journey. Do you have some of those people that have just been with you since day one that have sort of tuned in and gone, this is what Aaron's about, we believed in him, or are they still around? Or they're obviously not 21 anymore, I can tell you that. But
well, thank you so much for the cue there, because I've got to give a shout out to my mum, who is my number one fan. I love you, Mum, so much. She is my number one fan, like to the point where I'd be going out with my mum for a coffee, and then the first thing my mum would say if someone came up to her she knew, do you know my son's a DJ? He plays music, and after all, you're like, Mom, this is embarrassing. I'm 37 years old.
Well, she did buy the spot on this podcast here today, so that's good. So thanks, Mum.
But I look at it like this, like for my mom to continue doing that from when I was 11 years old, and 37, she still does it. Like, that's beautiful, and it's a blessing. It's an absolute blessing. Now, my dad obviously supports me too. My dad's more that quiet supporter. I guess the one funding when I was young, learning how to play drums, taking me to band practice. He invested so much time. So 100%, hands down, I'm Dad, my sister, biggest fans since I was 11 years old.
I think too, like I've seen some of your social media. You've travelled a fair bit. Yeah. Obviously, you've gone a bit outside of Melbourne. So let's talk about some of your international trips. Like, I know you're big into manifestation, putting it out there. Where have you played, or what audience have you enjoyed really playing to?
Well, yeah, the blessing about it is because I've always been vocal about my passion. And that's the biggest thing I want to talk about. When you're vocal about what you love, opportunities just fly in front of you. Because if you're not vocal about it, people don't know. And even if you're vocal about it once, if you're vocal about it once out of the amount of seconds in a day, they're still not going to know about it. And I'll give you an analogy. Sometimes people would message me on Facebook saying, do you still DJ? It's like, dude, yeah, of course I still DJ. So what does that show me? That shows me I'm not vocal enough. Some people could say you're very vocal, but I still can be more vocal. So DJing overseas, I was in Thailand when I was about 18, 19. I was vocal about it. I took my CDs with me back then. It was all on CDs, not USBs. I ended up DJing in some of the biggest clubs in the Bhangra Road. You know what I mean? All the roads there and stuff where all the clubs are. And then, from there, I was able to get some gigs in Vietnam. I played in Vietnam, played in Singapore. Last year was in Thailand, played in Thailand. Philippines, I even got taken. I was pretty much taken to Philippines by a gentleman I went to school with.
I don't know who you are, but I know you're a DJ.
I love it. So I went to school with him, and he's like, you know what? He called me out of nowhere, hadn't spoken to him for a few years. He's like, I'm getting married. I want you there. That was it. No ums or ahs. Like, I want you there. I don't care how much it is. I'm taking you to Philippines. And to me, that's a beautiful thing. I pinch myself even just talking about those opportunities.
Do you think now, like, would you rather be the adult you are now and going back and playing with the tape decks and coming through that era, or do you think there's a better era for DJing because you have to be more rustic, more inventive back then? Obviously nowadays we've got AI, digital, people can cheat, I guess, and there's a lot more recognition. So when do you feel the best era was it? Do you think it's that switching between and we've missed records. We haven't even put a record in there yet.
Yeah.
Do you like to mix it up a little bit, or is it still always about the music? So are you adding in some of your own tunes there as well?
Such a good question. Yeah. Really, such a good question, because we look at AI and we look at people who are kind of like, AI, it's become easier. People aren't creative. But this is the best time. Why it's the best time is you can even be more creative with AI. Now, of course, there's people out there that take advantage of it and they're like, you know what, it's easy now, I don't have to do much. But this is the best time for music producing, for DJing, because AI has allowed us to do a lot more, a lot quicker. Now, when you could do a lot more and a lot quicker, you could be more creative, you could do more things, your hands are free. So when I'm DJing, just to let people know about what we've got in DJing now, there's elements called stems where I can break up any track at any time. Example, I'm playing Billie Jean, Michael Jackson. I can just get the bass line straight away. Don't have to download stems or whatever. It's the MP3 bass line. How powerful is that? You can have that bass line into a track by Bruno Mars with the drums. So when I look at today's, what we've got, we're in an element where you could be so creative using AI, and your business should be going from here to here with whatever you're doing, irrelevant whether you're a DJ, whether you're an accountant, whether you're a lawyer, whether you're a teacher, whatever. Using AI can help you be more creative and gain you that exposure a lot quicker.
Could there be such a thing as information overload though? Because you look at songs nowadays. I wouldn't really want to use the lyrics out of most 2025 songs. There's no depth. There's no Elvis Presley. There's no Red Hot Chili Peppers. No Pantera. There's no classics. The only thing I feel that's missing out of today's music is soul, unless you're going overseas and you're sourcing some of that. But then, hence, your role is to create new music. So you're still always digging back to those original songs, or is there going to be a new era? Because imagine now we didn't have the 1980s and 1990s to dig back into, and you've got to work with music from 2020. Where would you source your knowledge from? That I think you'd need to create.
Everything in life is a remix.
Yeah.
Literally, the easiest way to put it, everything in life is a remix or a remake. Something someone has done something similar or something that someone's got inspiration off before. In any business too, not just DJing, in any business. People have got inspiration from something else. So in saying that, there is still a lot of soul in music this day and age, you know? And I think what the soul is, it's a different type of soul. Yes, you don't have that raw kind of feel of, you know, 2-track tape back in the day when they used to record MJ, you know what I mean? Luther Vandross, that kind of stuff. But you still have artists these days who have that soul. Now, even artists back then, they got inspiration from 20, 30 years prior, and they were listening. So I think what it is we're in an age where the same things are going to happen. People are getting inspiration from something else, but it's about creating yourself, your identity in what you do. So it's not being a carbon copy of something. It's you need to take a bit from here, inspiration from here, because inspiration creates innovation.
So with being a DJ though, because obviously nowadays we move into back being a DJ, let's say 20, 30 years ago, you have to be physically present. You have to be at the event you're playing it. Nowadays it's televised, and you could actually make it. You could actually have a successful DJ that operates from their bedroom. So how do you think you would make it as a DJ nowadays? How do they stand out from the rest of the crowd?
Another good question. You're on fire today.
I do all
the
right.
Macster's on fire. I love it.
Return of the Mac, mate. I can say that.
Return of the Mac.
Insert audio.
That is an incredible question because, and what I love about these questions, it's not about just relating it to DJing. It's relating about to any industry
100%.
and any profession. In this day and age, and this is what I love. You know how that old school saying, it's not what you know, it's who you know. I don't,
who knows you?
Yeah, but I don't even think that anymore.
Yeah.
Yes, of course that helps.
Yeah.
But it's who is seeing you that makes a difference this day and age. So sometimes it's not about who you know, it's about who is seeing you. Because let's look at everyone you know. Most of the time, a lot of people we know aren't our direct clientele. They might give us a bit of a tire, pump up, you're going good, this and that. But the people that are booking us or the people that need acquiring our services are people that see us. Now, if you're not seen, if you're not online, if you're not in people's faces, if you're not giving people value, then these people that you don't know and that haven't seen you are not buying from you. So it's not what you know and who you know, it's who's seeing you.
Seeing you.
And if they're not seeing you, how are you going to have a new client? How are you going to perform to a new crowd? How are you going to get a new fan? How are you going to get someone within your community? How are you going to bring someone within your family of what you do and what you live and breathe? You need to be seen. That's literally, we live in an age where you need to be seen.
And do you feel that's in TikTok, Instagram? Do you feel it's to the masses? How would you want to stand out there? So your referrals nowadays are Melbourne-based. Do you plan to travel again? Do you plan to go international again?
Yeah, I've got an international trip at the end of the year. I can't disclose what it is because we're just in the
Antarctica.
In the room. Yeah, Antarctica. The penguins go off to it, man. They love it. They love the polar bears are sliding. Like, man, it's the best.
Everyone can take a guess on the podcast though. They throw it in there. I'll tell you what. I'll include a $500 voucher if they guess the correct place.
Where I'm going and why I'm going.
Oh, and why?
And what the event is. Because that's also an interesting one. People think when they think international, they think it's like a festival. But nah, this is totally different.
Perfect.
Totally different. And about what you said about the mediums, whether it's TikTok and that, that's another interesting thing in business. Any business can be on any medium. They could be on Threads. They could be on LinkedIn. They can be on... whatever, Snapchat, Facebook, whatever.
You said it's a remix. It's all about playing your tunes to a different audience. Yeah,
and also it's understanding what that platform is for. So on LinkedIn, I'm very big on corporate. Yeah, very big on you need entertainment at your corporate event. Why have a training event, a 3-day training workshop with no element of entertainment? You think people are going to be educated for 3 days with no wow factor?
Well, the best motivators in the world, like your Tony Robbins and all that, they all walk out. Literally everything's done to music. It's done to a
100%.
soundtrack. You and I are putting together an event shortly, and that'll be done to music. At the end of the day, it's a good way to cue the break. What's the number one song? What's your favorite song?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. To ask someone who's a music lover, that is a hard one.
I know. You're going to have a lot of haters on here and a lot of people that love you.
From the get-go,
Yeah.
and it's just because it hits home because it was the first track that really got me into funk music and really got me into just a really funky beat that you could dance to. Even if you got 2 left feet, you'll dance to this track. It's Kool and the Gang, Fresh.
Yep.
She's fresh, exciting. Epic track, epic. Now, some people may not think it's epic, but that's what I love about music. Someone may have an off-center song or even a popular song that someone doesn't like, but it's their favorite track of all time. It's
also too where it's about where the song was first heard and how it was created. It's all to do with, I would say it's not muscle memory in this, it's music memory. Because, you could grow up to the Fresh song and be in the wrong environment. You'd hate that song. Unfortunately for us, we had a lot of Johnny Farnham playing next door. I couldn't stand the Aussie songs as a kid because it was just blaring down our eardrums. So let's move on to business and where Aaron's going. So we'll just move into the holistic, and then we're going to move into your Lux items. So you've got the DJing. I know you do a bit of real estate.
Yeah.
You're a great family man. You're driven by friendships and loyalties and values. But let's talk about, what do you think are the 3 key elements for a successful and wholehearted business that's fulfilling nowadays? What fulfills people?
It's so interesting because fulfillment internally is about doing what you truly love, doing things that are so natural for you. Even the hardest time within what you're doing, it's just water off a duck's back because you're doing something that's ingrained in you that you love so, so much that even during trials and tribulations, it's whatever.
They're
like,
lessons.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Like, it could be something where I don't get that really big gig. I worked my ass off to put a proposal together. I don't get it. Whatever. Next. Someone will, someone won't, someone is waiting. And when you love something so much, I think that's where that internal passion can drive you through. You can scale anything with that passion.
So finding the inner passion.
100%.
Yep.
In regards for fulfillment for your clientele or people that are following you, I love to simplify things. And I think everything in life, when you are trying to attract people and fulfill their needs, you got to have the 3 E's. You got to engage, entertain, and educate. So if you can do that with the people around you, with your prospective clients, you can fulfill their needs. Actually give them what they want, what they need by just engaging, entertaining, and educating. In the end of the day, people need to be entertained. They need to be engaged to be entertained, and they need to be educated.
I'm going to add on one more: eradicating, getting rid of what you don't need. I think it's most important. I think it's very simple. Keep it simple.
100%.
Just people want to laugh. They want to be entertained. They want a good time. They want to feel seen. Of course, that's our theme today and heard. Lux family. Last thing. What have you found with networking? And obviously you've been seen, but what do you feel if you're meeting a person for the first time that you should do?
It's a good one. That's a very good one. I love that. I love that. The reason why I love that is because networking can be seen in so many different ways.
Yeah.
People could say it's just someone just wanting to get something out of me. It's just like a bit of waste of time because I'm not going to see these people again. You can be very negative about it. You can be very positive, overly positive. So you can have, a misconception of what you're doing and also be disappointed very quickly. I feel when you first meet someone, just having a standard chat, understanding who they are, what they love to do is where it starts. Also in networking, over the years, I've found that you can be talking to that one person for way too long. When I first started networking when I was 16, 17, I was actually doing work also when I was a young chap with Daniel Collegia, one of the Lux brand partners. And we used to do a lot of networking, and you'd spend 45 minutes talking to someone because I love just talking to that person. But I realized when you're networking, it's not about having a long conversation with someone. It's having as many conversations you can, making them shorter, but memorable. If you can have more conversations that are memorable and valuable to people, that is how you're going to really, really get a lot out of networking. So those first things you ask about what they love, what they do, how they provide for their clients, what do they love about their business, who is their ideal client within the first 2-3 minutes. That's where you can see if there's a synergy, and in most cases you will find a synergy.
I think that's where the beauty is one thing I also personally do is I go and find out about the people and then I connect the dots. I relay that story to another person, share a similar hobby. They build a unity, they build the trust, and you're seen as the facilitator and introducer. Really good answer. Last question, the Lux item, the Lux question. The Lux question. All right.
The Lux question.
You can do anything you want. Money's no object. That's it. What's the one item, the one place, the one thing? What is it that's the thing, and you're allowed to show off here, that you really want?
Don't tell anyone. Yeah, please, just don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
But I want to get the Aaron J Ranch.
Oh, perfect.
Imagine an Aaron J Ranch.
Yeah.
Where there's a stage over there. There's a stage over there. We've got like CO2 cannons going off just in the morning. It's like instead of a rooster, we've got CO2 cannons with the biggest track.
Cock-a-doodle-doo. I've just blew up you.
So I want a family ranch. I would love to have a family ranch where I can just do my music, where, you know, I can play basketball, where I could just my family can just enjoy.
That sounds very cool.
Enjoy, just like a theme park for my family. I think that's what I've always wanted. I've wanted a big space where I don't need to go to that office or that place. Just everything can be at home, you know?
Love it. So it's all about being at home. And thanks for joining us at the home of Lux Chats today.
Thank you.
Big shout out to That Creative Hub. Those just tuning in, just want to say thanks for listening. And obviously, if you want to be part of the podcast, just reach out. If you want to be part of Lux, only $20 a month, really, to be a member. But we've loved having you on, Aaron. Thanks so much, mate. Hopefully, we can drop some beats in here for you.
100%.
We'll see you soon on your podcast. And thanks for tuning in, guys. Great guest.
Awesome. Thank you.